Hello, investors. It's Connor Bates, Associate Portfolio Manager with Revere Asset Management. Today's Thursday, July 9th, 4:54 p.m. Eastern Time. Coming to you with tonight's Revere Roundup Daily Market Insight video. Trend gauge market leader still under neutral. Took off that red sub arrow. Some big bounces across the AI ecosystem. Short term, green arrow and the Qs, mid and smalls day one trying to reclaim that. So we'll monitor that if they can continue. And the medium term above the 50 and 200-day moving average. What happened today? S&P 500, great trend update today. Looking to break out and then some big bounces across the board. Although I will say a bit of a weak close on some of the AI semi-memory names, but very broad um, update in the market from software to semiconductors to memory to other AI names, optics even bouncing. So airlines, regional banks, industrials really. So it's good to see. And you can see here green across the board. 21 list was up 2.25, 18 green, 1 neutral, 2 red. Turbo 12 up 3.84, 11 green, 1 red, Mag 7 up 1.47, RG8 up 1.92, Revere AI 100 up 3.38, S&P up 0.81, Equate up 0.61, Qs up 1.66, Equate up 1.28, Dow Jones Industrial Average up 0.27, Midcaps up 1.28. Same thing there with Russell 2000, 6040 stock amount up 0.53, GROTECTION up 1.01%, TurboTection up 1.32% on the day. Let's get into the inter-asset correlation. And as I always start with S&P 500, and this chart looks fantastic. Yesterday tested looked like we were potentially breaking down. Nope. Nice wick off the 50-day and then reclaimed the 8 and 21. Nice fall through here today, back above 7,500. And this looks like a very beautiful, one sec, this looks like a very nice downtrend line breakout setup here that could be setting up, and you got nice VCP characteristics, first contraction, second contraction, and you can see how tight this third contraction got. So potentially looking for a VCP breakout here on the S&P 500. RSP looking fantastic as well, riding the 21. The Qs, let's delete these. Nice undercut of this 700 level, and I'll draw a line so you can see kind of, held support at the 700 spot, now reclaiming the averages today. And again, you got a downtrend line here from the high, so that's something to watch if this wants to break out. Mag 7, another strong day. Power off the 200 day and continue to see these names come back to life, whether that be Meta, Amazon, Microsoft trying to put in a higher low off the bottom, Tesla as well. Dow Jones Industrial Average has been one of the leading. Maybe money starts to go back into tech, but as long as above the 21, doing well. Mid caps as well. Multi-day pullback held at the 50-day. Russ 2000 reclaiming the 8 and 21. ARC looking coiled a bit. You got a pretty simple flat base here. See if this one can break out. FFTY, nice hold of the 50-day. VIX continues to be weak, and that's good to see. Below 16, down again today. The dollar, something to monitor. This looks like it's kind of forming a flag here after we've been talking about this big stage one base that it broke out of. Gold in no man's land. If the dollar continues higher, that likely hurts gold stocks, silver, Bitcoin. Still holding this UNR off the lows. Spot chart looks more cleaner, and trying to see if it doesn't get some power through the 21E bonds and then rates. Some just monitoring these charts, how they set up. Not a whole lot of movement there. All right, it's Thursday. You know what that means? We got the new sentiment readings. AAII bulls ticked up a little bit, up 4.9 to 36.3. Neutral the same. Bears down to 37.2, and then NAM slightly lower to 82, so that's good to see. And then percent of stocks with a 5-day are a bit depressed, 38 for the S&P 500, so that can add some more conviction on a breakout of that BCP pattern. Tomorrow, SK Hynix is their first has their US ADR listing, and it's more than 7 times oversubscribed. So, what does that say? There's still a lot of, enthusiasm for AI related semiconductor names. And, maybe that's why some of them are strong today, but it's it's going to be very interesting to see how that reacts tomorrow and how it trades. SK Hynix has had a huge, huge move already. So we'll see once it's listed how it acts. Today's keys green across the board, 75.51, the 21 EMA. Q's 21 and 50, and same with the Russell. Gonna be watching the same stuff tomorrow and 7,600 on the S&P 500. See if that can get through. Let's see. Day count up one, 8 days above the 8 days above the 21 EMA. And like I mentioned, we had a trend up day. Sectors wise, meme, it's high beta momentum ETF, nice snapback today. Semiconductors, another AI ETF, airlines, regional banks. Weakness was, space, energy, oil, utilities. GROTECTION today bought SIMO and AMD, added on to Hood and Dell, and then sold the hedge. 1.29 RVAB, stock risk minus 1.63%, total minus 6%. TurboTaction added on to Reddit and UPro. RVAB 1.81, estimated balance at risk for stocks minus 3.43, total minus 6.97. Bottom line, S&P 500 looking to break out, semis, memory, and AI stocks bounce. All right, let's get into the charts. And let's just kind of look at the big ETFs to start. Semiconductors held right at the 50-day moving average bounce. Although I mentioned, a bit of go to the 5 minute here, and you can see, they gapped up pretty strong, minor weakness into the close and kind of putting in that like bit of a reversal candle. But all in all, still looks good. Now we look to see if this can, build a higher low. Not completely out of the woods yet, but it's constructive to see holding the 50-day. Now, see if build a higher low and then let those averages get more aligned. DRAM, the other big one, similar thing here. Yesterday had a great day off the 50, and then it gapped up today and rejected the 8 and 21. Not totally out of ordinary. Just going to monitor this to see. We don't want to see this be a clear rejection and then roll back over. Ideally, we get maybe like struck, maybe a little higher low there, little consolidation to continue higher. So and let's take a look at, Micron, similar setup as DRAM in the memory space, SanDisk as well, although still a powerful day for that one. And then some other things. Software gap down and then close extremely strong. And one thing we've seen a bit is an inverse correlation between semiconductors and software. When semiconductors are very strong, software can tend to be weak, and vice versa. And today, semiconductors were gapping up, software is gapping down, and it was good to see some character change here with this putting a nice upside reversal. Let's take a look at some of the other software ETFs. Cloud computing looks fantastic. Cybersecurity ETF. I mean, beautiful, beautiful moves here, and these look like they want to continue higher. The whole basket was up quite a bit today. PA&W up 5.5, FTNT up 5, Crowd up 4. So good action there. Airlines, can't really complain. They look good, and especially if oil continues lower, look at USO looking like might break lower again. That should help airlines. Regional banks, really nice base here, nice bounce off the 21 EMA. And then let's take a look at the 21 list. Rivian, just good picture of how volatile this market's been. Big base breakout all the way back down to the 200-day, now coming back to life. So that's good. GH, strong action. FTNT, new highs today. It's owned in both portfolios. One of the leaders here in the cybersecurity. Dell, one of the leaders in the computer hardware, continuing out of this down trend line break. Affirm, nice action here, forming a handle. Datadog, another software name, acting phenomenal. Both portfolios own that as well. Airbnb, pulling back to the 21. Maybe this is ready to break out of these base highs. Credo, very choppy, but looking constructive. Reddit, nice day here. Nice close on this one above 200. And still looks like it's got some room out of this stage one base back above the 200-day. APH been pretty choppy. Snowflake, another one in the software space, acting well. Intel, not as good, rejecting the 50-day moving average. And I have these two lines kind of like, it's kind of just in a big trading range here for now. Twilio, another highlight, acting great. Looks like many of the other software groups. Hood holding this top of this stage one base breakout zone. See if this can round back out. Bros needs to reclaim 66. Net, great action, historically extremely choppy stock, but maybe that changes here. GV still building this flat base. LLY looking good, hanging in the highs above 1200. VLO coming out of an ascending base look here. Then Axon looking constructive. Let's take a look at Turbo 12. MXL firing back above all moving averages. See if this can get through 100. OUST perfect base retest and 40 level looks instructive. XMTR, see if this can break out from this downtrend line. CrowdStrike, again, flat base breakout, 200's the spot. PNG, good action off earnings yesterday. Putting in a day two higher high, not the prettiest candle, but good strength there. SIMO, another one that kind of looks like an ascending base look to me somewhat. See if this can continue. Frog, nice bounce off the 8 EMA. BlackBerry getting tight here, digesting. FCell obviously had that blow up with that offering. Um, yeah, coming back though. We'll see. Just might need some more time. High ATR stock. Okta, similar look as Crowd and the other names in the group. Oscar at the highs. And then BHYP. Crypto looking overall constructive. Let's take a look at some of the mags. Right? Mag 7's been strong. This wants to load for me. Amazon, nice day on this one today. Up almost 2%. Tesla, is it finally time? We've been, everyone's been looking for Tesla to make a move for years now, but acting good, acting better, build a higher low here, see if it's going to back by the 200-day and break out through that big downtrend line going all the way back to last year. And then Meta had a piece of news today, been really good reaction, closing at the highs. That's good strength there. Some of the fiber optics getting a bounce off the lows. Let's take a look at Lumentum, right? The leading one today still has declining moving averages, but if you zoom out to the weekly, it looks less noisy and looks overall more constructive. About a pulling back, see if this can round back out. Chart's still a bit of a mess, but good to see it at least, bouncing back. Let's see what else. ARM, another semiconductor, putting in an undercut and reclaiming that 350-day moving average. Um, let's see. Even Avgo, right? Looked like it was breaking down. Now coming rounding out hard off the 200-day moving average. NVIDIA as well held the 200-day moving average. AMD acting like one of the RS leaders, holding up at the highs. Another one that looks like a bit of a ascending base. And so, yeah, and then take a look at Korea, which, obviously is important. Holding these support lows, see if this can round back out. Might need some more time, but, all in all, pretty good action. Oh, I did want to take a look at industrials coming up, and I think I did see FedEx was wrong ticker. But we'll go back to but really, all in all, good to see these AI names coming back, specifically memory, semiconductors, optics, some of the power names, some of the neo clouds. That's positive. You got breadth broadening out, RSPs holding in well, S&P 500 is looking coiled to break out of this VCP base. So we will see what the market has in store tomorrow. As we know, it's been choppy, it's been volatile, so it always remains hard to trust, but pretty constructive action today, and we'll see if the market can build on it going into tomorrow. So that is going to wrap it. As always, like to hear from you. My email is connor@revereasset.com, and you can always reach out to me on Twitter at ConnorJBates_. Phone is 855 Real Wealth, 855-732-5932. And if you're ever interested in becoming a client, as always, please reach out. Thank you guys for watching and have a great night.